The number of reasons that I've not given a deep dive into life insurance or into annuities, much less how they fit in your financial plans, is complicated. And it's so daunting because the number of different subtopics, even within each, is so long that it's, until this moment, I've decided, that's just too much to bite off. And then I'm going to lose you. And then, so instead, what I've decided is, why don't we try to break it up as much as possible and sit it back here in GH2 Unfiltered. So, it's now the beginning of 2021. Hopefully at noon, there will be, the peaceful passing to a new president. We're not going to get into politics today. However, what we have here on this graph is a fundamental fact that we must deal with when we're thinking about financial markets, because this has everything to do with the way that people think about their financial plan. And here is this graph, which is the total market capitalization of the equity markets divided by GDP. And in broad terms, this is otherwise known as the Buffett indicator. Meaning that when stock prices compared to GDP are at very high ratios, then Warren Buffett would tell you that the market is overpriced. And you can see it here that we have now historically high levels on this ratio. I will just say one extra thing here, which is that you are going to have the different types of graph that look similar to this, one of which is going to be price to earnings, which is going to be some price to earnings projection as divided and as a whole. And you're going to see some numbers that look like 22, 23, which are again historically high compared to 15. In other words, notably higher than market averages. That said, that particular one, which is the market average PE, right, on a forward-looking basis, that one now has to be called into challenge. And the reason I've swerved over here is that we're going to see these graphs, and over the last month, we've had an issue because we've added Tesla into the S&P 500, which is creating a huge distortion because of the way that the S&P 500 index is calculated. It is a market cap weighted. It's just not add up all the stocks and divide by 500. That is not what is going on. But Tesla is so large that and their PE is so high that what's going to happen is that the ratio of the PE is going to look artificially higher, which is going to distort that graph. So now I'm back to this here, which is total market cap divided by GDP. That will basically take that Tesla effect out of these types of market comparisons. Now, why did I start here? Why did I start here? The reason for starting here is because my only sole objective, is to make sure that somebody's household net worth is maximized under the widest number of scenarios. And this phrase, to existing comprehensive financial planning clients, they're sick and tired of it because I keep repeating it. Meaning that it's all fun and glorious to say that, I own 1,000 shares of Tesla. Congratulations if you do. Right? That is fine for cocktail party talk, when you can have cocktail parties, hopefully at some point. The reality is, what I'm trying to do here is trying to say, okay, what are we actually trying to accomplish? And it goes back to the, wax on, wax off video, which is, let's remove, fancy talk. Let's remove what the analyst said on CNBC, but instead continue on to thinking about financial products and whether or not the function that they would actually, serve fits kind of what you are trying to accomplish. And for that reason, that's why I talk about other financial products like annuities and insurance, because they're complicated, but the function of what they actually do, their cash flow payouts, and that function to people is important. Much more important than what is being told. Much more important. The problem that people like me have, well, I have lots of problems, but you understand my point, which is that in communicating this with the general public, the issue that I have is the following. Well, I've got lots of issues, and again, but let me just try to summarize briefly. First of all, me pounding on the table makes me look like a snake oil salesperson, which I, am very uncomfortable with that idea. You can see it. I don't even how awful my videos and podcasts and newsletters are, right? I'm very sheepish about the principle anyway. In addition to that, the issue really is the fact that the other persons who are trying to publicize this have done a pretty bad job. That insurance company, whether that be life insurance or annuity, health insurance, these guys, their bullet points are stating stuff that I'm just not fully on board. Meaning that there's a reason that my business card doesn't read a specific carrier, any particular carrier, because it kind of marries me to that particular set of bullet points. And, I'm just not comfortable. I would like to take a big black Sharpie and go and eliminate some of these bullet points. Because it distorts the message about trying to get back to the cash flow and the function that it would serve to you, which should be your sole focus. Okay. Today, as a result, so this is why you could see why we started with the life insurance in the Barron's article. We will return to it. And here it is up on your screen. Well, let's see if I can pull it up here. Let's see if that's going to magically occur or not. Doesn't look like it. Let's just see up here. I'm sure. Yes. So this article here is a very good article, but not for the reason that you might expect, which is that the reason that I like the article is not because they quote a person who has given me a 5-star review for Maximize Your Medicare. Thank you to this person here. But really what the point of this article is actually to focus on the fact that insurance or another financial product can have a use based on a mathematic reason when you strip away the idea and the jargon of insurance, when you strip away the idea of annuity, right? And what ends up in focus instead on the actual math, and therefore get back to the function that a financial product can play in your financial plan as a whole. That long-winded explanation notwithstanding, the reality is I'm going to be able to clip this, which I'm going to hit pause in a few moments, right? Because I'm going to be able to get this introduction and attach it to the beginning of why I think that people should pay attention to life insurance, why people should pay attention to health insurance, why people should pay attention to annuities, why if you're working, full-time working, why you have to be looking at the employee benefits packages and what the payouts look like, because it has a function in your financial life. That is the part of financial fluency that I try to hammer down under the public YouTube channel, which is, we need to get away from the jargon, because the reality is the jargon is so complicated on these other products. You need an interpreter to get it correct. Future clips here are going to be actually about me showing you how I'm going to interpret these convoluted statements, convoluted illustrations, convoluted presentations of the cash flows, so to show you how to separate the signal from the noise.